only got a limited time to play? Here are some of the best games to play and finish in one sitting. There's no shortage of intimidatingly enormous games right now. Oh, hello, Far Cry 6 and New World. But we have busy lives, and sometimes that means we have to make gaming sacrifices. Yes, there's a time for games that take hundreds of hours to complete, but also for those that mean we get to the end credits in one night. It's a lovely feeling to start and finish a game in one go. You did it! You achieved something, and that feels great. Now, it's hard to exactly say how long one sitting is, so we're going for 5.5 hours max, which is still quite a long sitting, so we're going to suggest stopping for a meal and maybe at least one walk break. Subscribe to Logitech G for even more satisfying achievement, and let's take a look at the best games to start and finish in one night. What if we told you there's a game you can play that lets you hold down a key that strums an electric guitar for almost the entire runtime? The Artful Escape isn't just a dazzlingly imaginative, colourful journey. It also just sounds absolutely incredible. Hold down Francis Vendetti's strum button and you'll get goosebump-inducing guitar god riffs from the beginning of the game to the end. Plus, a heartfelt story about expectations and becoming who you were truly meant to be. Oh, and a colourful, strange goddess played by Lena Headey. It all sounds almost irritatingly indie, but believe us when we say that the Artful Escape is an absolute must-play. And we included it in our most recent list of stress-free games because as well as the 4 hours or so of runtime, it will never punish you for forgetting a riff or missing a jump occasionally. Bliss.
I've decided to create the most elaborate stage persona the world has ever seen.
Okay. Will you be down for dinner? We're having enchiladas.
Time for something that might just haunt you long after those credits have rolled. We can't be held responsible for the actions of your brain after consuming Little Nightmares 2 in one go, but we're just telling you that it's possible. Despite how it might look here with 2 adorable creepy characters, your adventure controlling the paper bag-headed Mono is a single-player experience. 6 from the original is here as an NPC, which means no security of playing with a friend. So no reassuring, oh, it'll be fine moments. No, let's take a breather. Just relentless terror from start to finish. But the good news is that you can brave this in just over 5 hours if you mainline it. As we said though, if you're going straight to bed, maybe check under the bed twice. Sometimes a game comes along that changes everything. It might be short at around 90 minutes, so the same length as your average non-Marvel movie, but before your eyes is an innovative and heartbreaking experience. Normally, understandably, we're very pro mouse and keyboard, but Before Your Eyes is controlled by your eyes. Yep, it uses your webcam to track your blinks and tell you the story of a life lived.
We have to make him do this every birthday.
That's a great idea.
It's big on feels, so maybe not one for a night if you're feeling down. But using your eyes as a wash to push forward the narrative is a reminder that we're all losing time far faster than we'd like. As much as we'd like to Ludovico our eyes open so we don't miss a thing, we've got to keep blinking and keep moving on. This makes Before Your Eyes an absolute must-play, but just be prepared for a few tears.
Richard,
What?
that's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Not only is Toem the first of 2 games on this list that involves photography, but it's also one of the 2 games that's in beautiful monochrome. Who needs colour when things are this charming in good old black and white? Toem was also on our recent list of the coziest games to play as we come into winter, and it's for a very good reason. This is a charming adventure of lovely characters with a wholesome, heartwarming message. Here you're listening to super chill music and exploring a satisfyingly hand-drawn world, helpfully snapping pictures as you go. And even though the adventure itself is relatively short, you'll probably find yourself lengthening the experience taking pictures for the sake of it. There's so much to see and explore here too, that it all genuinely feels like a breath of fresh air to journey through somewhere so beautifully crafted. We're sticking a caveat at the very beginning of this entry. It can take 5 hours or so to complete the Last Campfire, but given that this is a puzzle game, it might actually take you a little longer.
It was hard to make sense of this place.
We hold our hands up and say we did have to check a guide for at least one of the solutions, but that's absolutely what YouTube is for in 2021, as well as subscribing to your favorite peripheral manufacturer, right? The Last Campfire is a beautiful little adventure all about rekindling hope from the embers of lonely despair as you reunite little characters with their souls again. If that sounds a bit melancholy, it can be, but this is a gorgeous experience that'll challenge your brain as well as your heart.
The ghost spoke. Hope has returned to a forlorn.
Even when you're on holiday as an adult, there's still worries. Stress to be places on time, fretting about making the most of your time off. Alba, a wildlife adventure, is about what it was like once, when you were totally free and the only thing you had to worry about was seeing and experiencing as much as possible. This short but sweet hit of very specific childhood nostalgia all takes place on a sunny Spanish island as you join young Alba on a wildlife spotting adventure. With nefarious property developers threatening to destroy a sacred sanctuary, Alba must save the fate of the island, all by talking to its inhabitants and taking adorable pictures of the creatures who live there. As well as short, this is just one of the most chilled gaming experiences with genuine charm and a beautiful soundtrack to boot. Thanks for letting us tag along, Alba. And finally, let's end on a game that crosses the boundaries of time, space, and existence. If you want to know exactly what Genesis Noir is about, we could give you some vague descriptions of growing plants, or calling numbers, or destroying the bricks blocking stems deep in the ground. We could even mention the Big Bang, which may or may not be about a murder. But this is a noir detective game unlike any other. A beautiful monochrome journey across dimensions that constantly asks something new of you. It's like a giant interactive pop-up book where everything you do somehow makes sense and feels incredibly tactile all at once. There's so much imagination that it feels almost dangerous as you take on the role of No Man, a watch peddler mixed up in a world of guns and gods. Confused? So are we. But it's amazing nonetheless. And you can eat it whole in 4 hours or so. The dream. So that's some of the best games to play in one sitting. Let us know your favorite short but sweet games in the comments below. Drop us a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to Logitech G for more lists and features just like this one. If you do already subscribe, hit that notification bell to make sure you know exactly when our next video lands. Roll credits.